So you are welcome to my healthy food place. So you are welcome to my healthy food place, where we share ideas and recipes on how you can stay healthy naturally. And now today, the idea I want to share is on 7 things that happens when you stop adding lemon juice to your warm water. Now, it's no longer new that lemon juice being added to warm water has a lot of benefits, including helping you break down mucus and then things like bad cholesterol, boosting your immunity. Some of you are often complaining that because of stomach ulcers, because of this, because of that, it's too acidic. I'm talking of the lemon juice. So you do not want to take the lemon juice. And there is something I want to also highlight about adding lemon juice to your warm water therapy. Now, there are times when actually you do not need it. And when that time is around, your body will give you a signal. It happened to me recently, and I stayed out of it for too long. And so that's why I came out for this live. I actually had a reason or a few reasons to stay away from lemon juice being added to my warm water therapy, as the stomach appeared to be producing too much acids for digestion. When we consume certain foods, especially this herbal stuff we normally take this, take that, if we do not take sufficient protein in our diet, protein is very important, and that is what is most times missing. Over time, the stomach starts producing too much acids, and when these acids are coming, it cannot find food to build. I'm talking of protein. It's only carbohydrates, and carbohydrates can never do for you what protein will do. And so over time, we begin to feel like symptoms or signs of acidity and other uncomfortable signs, such as the one I mentioned, that is feeling like your stomach is producing too much acid. If your stomach produces acids because you've taken some acidic food, not really acidic foods, because lemon juice is not actually acidic, because maybe you've taken some foods that helps your stomach produce acids. There are foods like that, like ginger, like cloves, like fennel tea. There are some foods, even the green tea. There are some foods that activates your intestinal tract to start producing acid. Several other foods like that. And so when those acids are coming out and you do not consume protein to help your body to build, you are working out a way to throwing your body out of the balance. It's good balance or healthy balance. And so when that happens, you begin to feel that the lemon juice, your body is producing too much acid. And when the acids are around, there is no good or quality protein for it to use and work. And most times, what does it do? It may start eating on your intestine. This is very, very important, especially to us older adults. And so that could now make you to withdraw a little from lemon juice, lime juice, and this stuff. because we believe in moderation. Moderation is the rule. No matter how healthy a food is, no matter how healthy a food may be, you must also apply moderation. There are times when your body may say no, that you should take a break, but don't let that break be for too long. And that's the experience I want to share on this life. And so it happened that I had to stay away from lemon juice for a few days. And here are the results. In case you are planning to abandon the lemon juice indefinitely, maybe because you feel it's acidic, it's actually acidic only on taste. But when it gets inside your body, it has an alkaline effect. And that alkaline effect is much more important than that acidic taste, which you can dilute it to a point that it may not really affect your teeth and your gums, which is part of the reason why we complain of acidity. Our teeth, our mouth is the one to feel the acid first. And if we continue to bring in acidic foods without being mindful of our teeth and our gums, over time too, they may begin to come up with some other, things like tooth sensitivity and all other things like that. And so 7 things that can happen, or in other way was 7 things that it is preventing for you, unknown to you. Yes. Number 1, excess acid in the body. That acid that you are calling the lemon juice to be guilty of is actually helping you to reduce the acids when you take it moderately in the morning, adding it to your lemon juice. Now, some of you, when you are experiencing things like sore throat, I'm coming to number 2 things that happen now. Too much inflammation. A lot of people, when they are having sore throat, gum problems, they start taking lemon juice. I've seen a lot of remedies. They are advised to take lemon juice in water and start taking lemon. It is actually not the right time to take the lemon juice. The right time to take it is when that disease is not there. That inflammation is not there. But many of you, you neglect the lemon juice in your warm water. It's only when the symptoms begin to cry out loud, we now begin to take the lemon juice as a medicine. You want it to do what medicine will do for you. But I tell you, it is best taken for prevention. Yes, you will best enjoy it when you take the lemon juice or when you add it to your warm water therapy in the morning for preventive purposes, when you are hale and hearty. That's the best time to add it. But many of you don't do it. You neglect it until your throat begins to pain, until tonsil begins to show up, until toothache begins to show up, until inflamed gum begins to show up, until heart problem begin to show up. That's when some of you begin to take the lemon juice. Until kidney issues begin to show up. Yes, I've heard people, trying to reverse kidney problems. They say take lemon juice. It is not that time that you need it, my dear. You need it when all is well with your body. That's when it works best. And so, number 2 is that you start having uncontrolled inflammations in your body. And that inflammation could happen anywhere. Number 1 is excess acidity. Number 2 is uncontrolled inflammations. It can be in your throat, can be around your gums, it could be anywhere. It could be on your finger, on your fingers like this. I had it. It happened to me too. And so these are warning signals that inflammation is at it again internally. Obviously, sometimes because you are not taking something to ward it off, such as adding lemon juice. As tiny as it is, It could be neglected, but it does a lot. So this number 2 thing that begins to happen when you neglect lemon juice in your water therapy. Inflammations begins to move around you without being checked. Yes, when I say being checked, because what the lemon juice in your warm water does is helping you to check, put a check on them, because that's what they need, just checking them so they don't go out uncontrolled. Then number 3, your cholesterol begins to build up gradually. Yes, when you do not take lemon juice in your warm water, or when you decide to stay away for too long, just like myself did before I learned these lessons. Now, when you stay away from it, or you are not even taking it, as a matter of fact, there are people who are not even aware that they should add lemon juice to their warm water in the morning. Some people are still living like that. I mean, older adults. Managing high blood pressure, it helps you with blood pressure, it helps you with blood sugar, it helps you with a lot of things. And so this thing begins to happen. I mean, as the inflammations are coming up, increasing at all points in your place. Today, if it's not toothache, tomorrow it will be gum. I mean, symptom of whitlow. You know, many times when people suffer whitlow, what they call that painful thing on the thumb of your nail, they will say take a lime and make it a ring. This is the old mama's therapy in the village. You make a ring of the lemon or lime and put around your thumb to help you kill the bacteria causing whitlow. Very painful. If you have ever suffered it, it's very painful. And so those things begins to put mouth on your body if you have left the lemon juice. These are inflammations. Bacteria are all over. So the next thing that also happens is mucus begins to build up. Mucus is good, but too much of it is not good. And when these mucus are building up, sometimes your chest becomes like it's tight. Yes, it actually happened to me. I began to feel like the chest, like I've never had cough for more than 10 years. Yes, it may interest you to know that. I've never had cough. I mean, as a matter of fact, since I began this new journey, this new life. And so when I began to feel symptoms, when you start having that push on the chest, you know, cough doesn't just start, it must give you signal. Initially, tightness on your chest, like the urge to want to cough. It's one of the things. Don't wait until the trigger takes off. First trigger, you clear your chest. Second trigger, you clear it the second time. Mucus are coming up. Third trigger, you started coughing. Gradually, if you are still living in ignorance and you do nothing, cough has come with that. You start coughing, even to the point that you can't sleep at night. In the night, it gets worse because that's when the body wants to rest, want to work. You start coughing. And most people, it is that time that people recommend, say, go and take lemon juice, go and take lime juice, go and take this. No, my dear. The time to shine your eyes very well, the time to prevent, to avoid it, is when it hasn't come. You have to put a check on them. And so when that thing began to push on the chest, I began to wonder, say, since when? Is it cough or what? Is it cough? Is it that I want to cough? I began to clear the chest. And when that thing was pushing, the next, I think the third day, I said it was time. I remember I had to make a review on what is missing in my diet. And I realized that for about 7 days or 8 days, I've been without the lemon juice in my water therapy because I felt the stomach was actually producing too much acid, was bringing too much acid. So let me give this lemon juice thing a break. But the break was too long. It was actually more than a week. I was just enjoying myself, taking other this thing. And just, there are so many remedies that you can take. And surprisingly, a lot of people are still complaining of blood pressure, blood sugar, and the rest of it. There are a lot of remedies. If one didn't work for you, try another one. And so because the remedies, so many remedies are there, so lemon juice was almost forgotten in the water therapy until that push. As a matter of fact, there were other painful inflammations around my thumbnail, a small one, trying to do this, trying to manage and do it. It was the one on the chest, when the mucus built up. Because when you add lemon juice to your warm water, it helps to clear mucus little by little. I mean, it controls the mucus buildup. When the mucus buildup is too much and you don't check or control it, things like cough, chest tightness, and other things begin to happen. And so that, I think, was what was about to happen before I retraced my step and went straight to the market. Didn't have to waste time. Once I realized the tightness in the chest was coming up, I said, no, this looks like cough, and I can't imagine coughing. How will it look like after so many years without cough remedy or cough syrup, as they call it, without any cough syrup around, and without me having, to buy any cough syrup. That was years of ignorance. So immediately I did a review on those foods that I had been eating. I found out that lemon juice was missing and it's taking too long. What did I do? I went to the market, got me lemons, started to add half lemon as before. It didn't take more than 2 days. In fact, the first day, it pulled out most of the mucus. By the second day, it was almost, those symptoms were gone. And that's why I tried to come and share with us. Some of you are taking it for granted. Lemon juice, your own water therapy, because maybe it's not costing you a fortune. Yes, some of you want, until you spend so much money on a remedy or something before you know that it's working. And because lemon seems to be very cheap, yes, sometimes some of you have it even in your premises. And so over time you just neglect it and feel you have stomach ulcer, as we were misinformed, or for whatever reason, you just don't care, you don't bother. You just keep on going. And then different things will be happening inside of you. And one of them is this one I told you. Remember, I'm talking of 7 things. I've talked on the 4th one now. 7 things that begins to happen. You can note it down because it happens to a lot of you, but you may not be aware. You may not be sensitive when it's happening. Sometimes you wait until you start coughing. The trigger has come. You start coughing, then you start going for lemon juice. Don't wait for that time. Then the next thing that begins to happen again is constipation. Yes, it becomes more tight. When you are taking lemon juice, it helps to reduce the tightness because of the vitamin C, which helps to neutralize free radicals. Not as if it's going to provide you all the fiber you need to tackle constipation, not as if it's going to provide you everything, your protein, your whatever, your fats, which are all needed when you are dealing with constipation. It's not as if it's going to do all of that. Each one has its own role. There is a place for fiber in your diet. There is a place for fat. There is a place for protein. There is a place for water. I mean, talking of fluid. There is a place for antioxidants in the diet. And these things, none can do the work of the other one. And so what it does is to help you loosen out some bad mucus. Which then the next thing that happens, which is the fifth one, I think, is that yeast activity increases in your body. Yes, you heard me. Some of you may be asking, say, what does that yeast activity mean? Yes, yeast activity begins to happen when those little bugs, I call them bugs, you take food, sugar comes out of it. You consume sugar, it comes out of it. You consume processed food, sugar still comes out of it. So those worms begin to feed. Yes, they begin to grow fat. Yeast, as I refer to them. And as they are growing, if you do not bring in anything like lemon juice and you allow them for too long, especially for older adults, it's a matter of time. They become very troublesome. I mean, really troublesome. Sometimes you could hear them making sound in your tummy because of their activity increased. Yes. Sometime I made a video some time ago saying that sometimes your belly, your tummy begins to talk. You hear something like wah, something like wah. There is no much acid, too much yeast also. And so that is part of the things that happens when you neglect or stay away from lemon juice. Or maybe you are not even practicing it because you've been misinformed. I call it misinformation, that it is acidic and that it will give you stomach ulcer. So many people have complained that to me, that no, Mama, I cannot. Oh no, there is time when you really have to have a break, like I did. But don't let that break take too long. Yes, okay. Now, there is another thing that happens. Your digestion will be slowed down. Your digestion will be slowed down when you neglect, because it helps to boost your digestion by the fact that it helps your stomach to acid. And so it begins to slow down your digestion. And that is even when you begin to feel as if you have too much acid. A lot of people say they have stomach ulcer, they have this. But in the real sense, these are not actually the thing that is happening. Sometimes acids in the body is what a lot of people call stomach ulcers. Because when you put away the lemon juice over some time, your digestion is slowed down. Yes, because it helps your stomach to produce acid. This is particularly important with the older adult. So please, do not stay too long away. When it is time to say, to put a hold, you should understand it. But also have an eye. Because those little juice, not a whole lemon juice or a whole lemon, just half of it. Because you don't have to take too much. Because it will require a lot of protein and other things for you. And many of us don't have access to enough and quality protein. So just half. Get a medium lemon. Cut it into half. Use half of it. Don't say because you don't want it to waste. Some of you are fond of it. Some of us, not some of you. Because you don't want the lemon to waste. That's why you must finish one large lemon inside your water. And it has its own negative effect too. When you take too much and there's no sufficient protein, sometimes the leg begins to swell. I've seen a case like that has come to me. Yes, of an elderly person who was having swelling around the legs. Why? There was lemon tree in her compound. And so she got to learn of the benefits of lemon lately when she was quite old. And then they began to add it to her water. And being an elderly woman, at least more than 70 years, she was no longer consuming too much meat and the rest of the proteins that lemon juice helps you to deal with. And so over time, they continued to add it. And there was not even sufficient iron, because vitamin C helps with full absorption of iron in the diet. And so there may be no, I just guess so, there may not be sufficient iron also in the diet. So the legs began to swell. And that's why I say that it's not at all times when the legs start swelling that people quickly conclude that kidney problem has come. Look into your diet. If you are consuming too much lemon juice because you have access to it, stop it. That may be all that you need to do. You don't have to start running around doing checkup here and there. Just stop it, and the body will restore, will heal itself again. So that is about the lemon juice. You don't have to start taking it because you have access to the lemon in your premises. You now be taking it too much. Now, another thing that happens, that's the sixth one, when you neglect lemon juice for too long, some of you that are susceptible to blood pressure, your blood pressure begins to rise. And this blood pressure rising is also a pointer to the fact that inflammation is on the increase. Your blood pressure begins to rise. Now, again, some of you normally wait when the BP is there. It's already with you. You're already managing or dealing with it. Then I say, okay, start taking lemon juice. My dear, don't wait for that time. Start taking your lemon juice now in order to prevent, because prevention is always better than cure, as they say. And so you need to start to include it little by little and know also when to stop. If you are consuming iron-rich foods and you do not take lemon juice in your warm water, over time, bacterial activity too will increase. Some of you are not aware of this, especially the older adult. You don't need too much iron. Some of you are going for multivitamins. You are afraid you're going to be short of iron. You can't be more afraid than myself, who is having an uncommon blood group, which I don't want to mention. The most uncommon blood group is where I belong. And so if you are even talking of going to get blood, you may not find it anywhere. And so some of you, that's why some of us, in the years of ignorance, we're always rushing to buy multivitamin capsules, iron capsule, and the rest. Older adult, hear me. You don't need all those things. You can create room for inflammations. Lemon juice in your warm water. Take it moderately, silently. Words off a lot of all these things. I have not talked about cholesterol. Yes, cholesterol starts to build up. It doesn't build up in one day. But when you stay away from lemon juice for a long time, either because you neglect it, you don't have access, but if you want to have it, you can always have access. Your cholesterol begins to mount, to grow gradually without you knowing it. And before you know it, it has grown, talking of bad cholesterol. But the use of lemon juice in your warm water helps to, reduce the bad cholesterol, what we call bad cholesterol, when you put it in your warm water in the morning. make it a culture, a habit. It's particularly useful for older adults. As you get older, your stomach is no longer producing acid as it used to. You consume food, it takes very long to digest. And so you do not have to So you do not have to wait. You do not have to wait until the cholesterol begins to give you trouble before you start to take your lemon juice. There are a host of other things that happens when you stay away from your lemon juice in your warm water in the morning. But if you are vigilant, if you are very, very careful to take note of these things, definitely you'll be saved from so many troubles, in the sense that before those problems begin to give you, those symptoms begin to manifest to the point that you start feeling sick, you will have remembered where you missed it in your diet. And it's not just the lemon juice. A lot of other things happen this way when it comes to nutrition. But I quickly realized where I missed it, the missing link, and quickly went back. Or else by now, I would have been treating malaria, typhoid, because once the chest becomes tight and the person starts coughing, the next thing they go to do test is malaria and typhoid. And guess what? Antibiotics. Many of you are not aware that vitamin C in citrus, like the lemon juice, acts like an antibiotic naturally because it has antibacterial properties. It helps to reduce the viral load of bacteria. But when you now allow the bacteria to continue growing unchecked, just mark the word unchecked, when they have grown and start to trouble you, at that point, lemon juice may no longer be the solution. All you will need maybe to go for antibiotics for a quicker fix for you to take back your health before you start your lemon juice, before you start your morning rituals. I do not intend to stay more than this. These 7 things are the things that begins to happen. Even much more than these are happening when you neglect this simple morning ritual, adding lemon juice. You remember that many of us were not even knowledgeable about this lemon juice stuff, which also helps our liver function. It's helping our kidney function. And guess what? When these organs are working well, you have a stronger immunity. You do not have to worry a lot. And so don't allow that cough, that chest tightness, those inflammations, those swollen gums, those symptoms of Whitlow, don't give them a chance. That chronic constipation, that acidic buildup in your body, all those signs of too much bacteria, viral load of bacteria, getting too much, don't give it a chance. You give it a chance when you stay away too long from lemon juice. Maybe because lemon juice in your warm water, maybe because it's cheap. That's the problem with many of you. You feel that it's cheap. I can just have a lemon in warm water, be doing all of this. So you just move on with your life until they have ravaged, the free radicals have ravaged everywhere inside. Then you now want to start the lemon juice. It's not the time. When it gets to that point, you need to keep lemon juice out of it for a while and go for your treatment. you need to go for hospitalization. When those body begin to ache, when those joints begin to ache, tooth begin to ache, throat begin to pain, you need to go for treatment. But in order to avoid those things, to get into that point, don't stay too far away, including your blood sugar. You need it, because this one of the secrets is vitamin C, which benefits all of us. Sometimes, surprisingly also, you notice that that lemon juice sometimes is the only vitamin C we take for the day. Some of us don't take drugs anymore, like taking vitamin C, because it comes with a lot of chemicals, it comes with a lot of things, preservatives, and the rest of it. And you need to know that vitamin C is a water-soluble vitamin. And what does that mean? What it simply means that you need to replenish it on a daily basis. As you take it, you urinate, it goes out with it. And you need the next day. The dose of yesterday will not serve you for tomorrow and next tomorrow. That is exactly what it means. So maybe you have taken calcium or iron, which can even stay in your body, some other fat-soluble nutrients, vitamins, some other vitamins that can even stay for days. Your body will still be working on it, processing on it. Water-soluble vitamins, like vitamin C, they are not like that. You need them on a daily basis. B group of vitamins, they are also in that category, a lot of them. And so that is why you need the lemon juice regularly. But you can also you should also not forget to take a break when your body gives you the signal. But don't stay off for too long, because if you stay off for too long, these things I mentioned here will start happening silently inside of you without you knowing it. And most times, if you are not vigilant, before you realize it, all the havoc has been done in your body. And it may not be easy for you to deal with using just lemon juice. So it is best for prevention, because prevention is always better than cure. Don't stay away for too long. I did it and learned these lessons. The reason I said I'll be here to share with you, so that you don't fall a victim. You don't take it for granted. You don't neglect it like I did, and then give room for unchecked inflammations, too much of mucus buildup, yeast overgrowth, chest problems, cough, symptoms of cough, acidity, low immunity, chronic constipation, excess, just name it. That is about it. You don't have to. Food remains our medicine. And remember, if you're coming this way for the first time, subscribe so that whenever I'm here, you'll be notified. Don't forget to subscribe, because you will be updated from time to time on tips to help you stay healthy naturally, only at My Healthy Food Place. Thank you for watching. See you again.